Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are, you're my everything. Say, I call you God. Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. Who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Oh, who am I thinking now? Yeah, so who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the location in which you are. Mima obi biara, ankrankra biara o hweye mima o achen mima o aha ma wajo. Me je de say twede ampon bo ade adaro ma no penso ho ye so me ho ye. Se wie nso ho ye na me ho ye dia na anadwe wo ho ye na me ho ye dia. Ene mesre we ni die ho se bomoden na ka ye ho fitimfiti asie ya kodu ewie ye ene nsuade a ye de bebrel every BWF Solicitors for ho ene ensem no eye de papa yi na me gide se baby biara owo anope yi oho nso ye na etie ne se munim se dwumadi every Friday bia na ye pemre na ye de aba mo kwan na ye ba BWF Solicitors a omo nhihye miensa a omo de communicate Emma public na say omo de educate Emma public no any say omo Thursdays omo ni lawyers na eye nsuade e wo Rainbow Radio nso na edu Fridays omo ni manyeti ene BW Radio ni BW TV anampo edu Saturday nso omo the community and the law na so omo ato omo ho ato ho say senya etie bia no adesua efa emra ho adesua efa immigration ho adesua efa yenkrom Ghana law ho adesua efa adwumemo emra eye mitigations ne litigations ne ade no omo agi ato omo ho so se omo de bebre community na nenso adom nenti ebi nso edu mediane manyeti ana ofre manyanati nso amejeusu jojojo ene me resource person enche bia meyi ni ho edi e de akere nansa na meka meyi ni ho edi no mesremo eni die mo mombo modiana mo share program no eto de bia ye ba na ye si share a enye se ye ho taye na ye sorry ya ye si share na mom adusua titra ewo adekodi a edi bem ye de brem no ye gidi se enye wo nkoa na embia ebehia embia obi foforo ana wadamfo bi umaami bi unue bi o sister bi enti se wo share na kwachi a obi benya na ono nso de ato ne ho de nya ne ho nya ho fa ho die enti mesrew share the program, like the page, and then subscribe to our YouTube channel. Senior Beya, Abribia Yaba Supe, when the first person to get a notification na wa join in. And then many GE is say BWF Solicitors, they be omo de beba, na omo de banso wa utia omo say yes, this year dear. Oh, you share BWF Solicitors at Chira Enya Yera Kwan Kra. Oko Seven Sisters Abontin so, and I say North London, Tottenham High Road, no address 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road ne so baby aye popular pa any Seven Sisters underground station no onye du hwa bomodia twitwaweni ubehu building kakraka bi ba ko ya tro Anna House esis underground station enim pe na bomodia ko fourth floor no fa wasem ekosio na omo nso ombesio jojo na amawo ho asane ho medamase me twa me ho sima. Just stick and stay with me. I'll be right back.
Our private client services team is recognized for providing clear and practical legal advice to our clients in the United Kingdom and Ghana. Expert help with will writing, probate or estate administration. Our will writers and probate lawyers can act for you to obtain grant of probate and carry out estate administration on your behalf. The probate takes place after someone dies. If there's a will, the named executor is responsible for ensuring that the estate of the deceased is secured, assessing its value and paying any inheritance tax. If there is no will, the interstate and inheritance rules require similar responsibilities. Our lawyers offer strategic and practical solutions to the issues which clients face, whether it's in relation to succession planning, will preparation, probate and the administration of estates, immigration and visas, contentious family or property disputes, administering estates, often with inheritance cross-border issues, international trust advice, including residence, domicile issues, wealth preservation, a fast, efficient service from SRA-regulated professionals, transparent pricing. BWF Solicitors, let us take care of probate. This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are the laws. There are the regulations. We have BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, experts in all aspects of the law, family law, civil litigation, all immigration and nationality issues, representation in court, marriage and divorce. We pride ourselves to give you excellent legal services and follow through till we get you the right result and decisions. That is our mutual satisfaction. We have a team of excellent qualified solicitors and support team to help you every step of the way. Our senior partner, with over 30 years of unbroken service to the community, is a member of the Family Law Panel and has advised several lawyers and institutions in many legal matters. He is qualified to practice both in the UK and in Ghana. Come to us. Speak to us. Let us represent you. We are your trusted community partners when it comes to the law. Locate us on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road at Seven Sisters in North London, N15 4NP. Nearest train station, Victoria Line to Seven Sisters Station, exit number 2. We are open for all consultations from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends by appointment only. Call us now on 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors, your trusted legal partner.
Yo, yasa etwa ye ho sema yaba mesama ankrankran bia akwaba biom eba adwumedie so aha ye BWF Solicitors for legal hours so na mo hwe me gide se obi bia ho ye yo mo amaba efidie ni so nyina meda masiye ye nua be ma promise we dey kind that way o ka kire mo se obi an share saa so na ye nua be ma adai mu no nko se play share me mamo nyina anope mamache me gide se obi biara ho ye mo ba so a amombo modiana munche Derek ye bwan si good morning manye and lawyer Eunice Derek ye jewsu ye papa na munche program no maye na yenko ye nimni aba Sandra Fraser very special good morning to you and chibi odwa be gu ho all the details and our contact details ope say obeshia BWF Solicitors odwa be gu ho no de amamu se ne be ya hwehwɛ ya wenya akwenya no na wodi aba ho no sanso ne wo Ghana office and ne nansa nem say no bi bisa me Ghana office no address ne ade misrew ene Sandra de ba ne nyina ba be gu ho no nti wo hwɛ me amede ma ode but say wadwe mu ntene wa ene ode be gu a na wa pick no wa hwɛ Kennedy me nso me da wa say good morning everyone enti ye be ko ye nim as time goes on me den chia mo amaka me chicha mo mfa nche me wa me chicha obi bia na yenko ye nim ene nsem na mo de isan say ye ba ne yiyu nsem a se me ka de bia say ye ma me ene ye resource person aye wono when it comes to matters of the yiyu trust me wa da no hwan krom si den na opa na obo say oh yes yiyu say o best start rat let us say onim wa kwadro wo mu ye na say every aspect of the yiyu law no we sua ne ye nti onim se ni etie nti ene me kotwe ne baaya na me bebisa ne yiyu nsam kakra na emom answer na me introduce me topic no me di kan introduce me resource person me sister me yes lawyer Eunice no fanchi akese Emma Etiefo any Ashefo. Then after that, we will introduce the topic for the day. Until lawyer Eunice, me ma good morning. Oh.
Major, so my I hope say I'm your drum, who ye, business for so who ye pa.
Me ho ye papa dom na.
Yɛda Nyame ase. Ma menkyia etiefoɔ ne ahwɛfoɔ nkurɔfoɔ a mo abɛjoin ne program ne anapɛ yi. I believe sɛ ebinom koraa mpo wɔ adwuma mu a wɔretie wɔ background no mu. Yɛda Nyame ase sɛ moatumi abɛka yɛn nsa ɛndɛ anapɛ yi. Mekyia mo nyinaa a mohwɛ yɛn wɔ Facebook so, YouTube so, anaasɛ BW Radio. Mekyia mo nyinaa. I truly hope say and that mo ho yɛ.
Yo, omonso ama jewsu ye ni enije mo. Obia jewsu etiefo mo ba so amombo modern amon share. Me nua be ma David, o ba so abomodern na share ma me o. Debia o kan best solicitors so far. Netre say omo ye bibia ma we ni aso ye. Nti o ba ya no a copy link no. When you copy the link, go to your WhatsApp group. So all the groups are all nyina. Just paste. Obi ken ebenya ho emfa so sanso na ye mama papa bi Angie Nana Owusu o say good morning Eunice auntie Angie na wasa echa good morning manyeti mama ye ma good morning this special good morning this very day and so at the mouth ye gidi say o ho ye papa sa mo ba so na ma share dia mai yo lawyer Eunice na emre bi kakra etwe mu ene ye 20 ene ye 20 sample
Second. 22nd.
Tete September na ewu na ye me ya see kings and queens are born in September.
I know. And
Ebe
very smooth clock also versus
shift you. And let us say the 22nd of September in the year no let us say mreno akoyenim ye na why did I even mention the date na me pa ye reference be towards emra yet see Brexit up to today so a couple of years in here ye who say ababeguma still there are few things enipa and I say young community bimo enshishe ento hoyi and afei nso ebi mo nso ahyehyɛ ɔmo deɛ nso no mmerɛ aso sɛ ɔsɛ sisi ahyehyɛ na ɔmo hyehyɛ no nso ɔmo kenya na ɔmo dane no wɔ kwan bi so anaa mpo sɛ ebi mo nso still ɔmo ebusua wɔ ha ebusua wɔ hɔ ɔmo pɛ akwenya a ɔmo mɛhwɛ sɛ ebusua na aka no ɔmo ɛdɛ mpo na still ɔmo abɛka ɔmo ho wɔ ha na kyerɛ sɛ when it comes to eyi ne deɛ nsɛm no bebree obiara ne ne deɛ nti ɛnɛ mɛma me producer I put the heading na ye no na menka wasem kakra nti ye heading na ye ene and as a topic that we want to discuss today ebeboa amanfo and say how do you apply for settlement or indefinite leave to remain on the 5-year route or the 10-year route. Me did say 5-year route, ni 10-year route. Na nyo biya na ye you. Dodoɔ na ye you when it comes to settlement and na you settlements and na bibia and ye nim say you. But when it comes to indefinite leave nso a enye you nko a once a wo krom a na wenye bi na wenye bi na wenye bi na du baby no you apply for indefinite leave and now say you apply for what settlement. And it say ye nim say dodoɔ na nso enye bi a embia 2.5 2 years 2.5 2 years 2.5 2 years in the system na afei no ọmụ nya 5 years nso no ene ebi abeka ho na ọmụ hu kwan a ọmụ mfa so na ọmụ nya ebi mo nso ọmụ nya 10-year route for na che say ọmụ na debi ye from tot no te on say you try no quarter tot ọmụ no mo nsa no ka tot a ọmụ te ase na ye say you try no quarter sa na 10 years na so nene ye ba behwe se me wo sa route yi so na se mininam 5-year route ne so na emra so se meji afebɔ na kwan bɛn na mefa so enti na yato ye heading ne say na say topic ne say how do I apply ye bɛhwɛ mu ensem na afei ne ye dia enti la Eunice we dey me start ato ama as time goes on no maybe sa wo ho nsɛm bebree wo se ne be ye be take no step by step se obi tie yen a na wofa pen and a paper na utie ye at least next half of the program now ubenya all the guarantees step by step ubefa so na won so di eden wo dey apply na ye successful ama na emom se wotie ni nyina na sebio wadwen mu still a ɛyɛ wo sɛ 2x4 1x2 bi a ɛnyɛ problem bia ɛno nti na lawyers nso ɔmo abi ɔmo pono ɛde ama amansan sɛ sɛnea tie bia no ɛmbia na biribi kɛ ɛbɛ yɛ wo hintabea bi a bra bɛhu ɔmo na ɔmo nhwɛ ɛmfa ɛmma wo nti wokɔhu BWF Solicitors fo a I trust you say definitely no ɔmo betumi ahwɛ na ɔmo ayɛ ade ama wo nti ɛnka yiyufo ɛnka settle for ɛnka tie bibia ɛnka wɔ wiase ne aka ne sɛ sɛbio wa tu wo nsa ato himfa wo koko na wokɔ ɛno ne na aka na mmom wo ɛnkwa na wo ahoɔden wotumi kɔ na wotumi ba wo ano ayɛ den te sɛ sɛ nea ano ayɛ den nko adeɛ I believe it's never too late in anything in everything that you want to do. So join us. Make sure you share the program. As soon as you come on, please share the program. Let it go viral because this particular topic is important to me. So, Lawyer Eunice Mesa Abisa will be and how do I apply? Akwenya Ben or semi faswa made to me apply for the settlement na say indefinite. Nansa na obeko mpesa wo kire me settlement no kra was what does it mean when it comes to
Yeah.
immigration? And I say indefinite leave. No, what does it mean when it comes to immigration? And sana yako so pacho adaroma.
Factory you so many. Into when it comes to settlement and I say indefinite leave to remain, there yeah planetary I say when it comes to was it now what it's not a chrome hano unhia sɛ wobɛhia biribi foforɔ biom nti ebi mo friend afebɔɔ anaasɛ the fact sɛ wonya saa asetena ne sɛ ɛyɛ settlement anaasɛ ɛyɛ indefinite leave to remain no there is no other should I say leave and I say unhia say obesan agye another asetena ɛde atena ekrom ha biom because when you afebɔ na almost say ɛyɛ indefinite and I say when you afebɔ na almost say ɛyɛ settlement into it's one and the same thing into when it comes to your immigration rules na say most of the time obia abia or leave to remain whether under the family route or under the work route under the student route and or under you can say most of the business routes that are available now anytime they mention settlement is to do with the fact say ebia wenya mpempensuo bi up to 5 years into almost say so when you're up to 5 years you bet to me ama indefinite leave to remain and I say either you get will leave to remain up to a limit of 10 years Inti say udru 10 years now, you can apply for indefinite leave to remain. Inti when it comes to sa mpempenso na yeah can say either 5 years and I say 10 years now, there are certain requirements that have to be met. Into depending on routes now also no, you have to meet those requirements in order to be able to apply for sa indefinite leave to remain. And I say afebo na nkrofo enim no. Into when it comes to afebo no dear, you nim say, then it means say afei deɛ wobɛtumi atena kurom ha etu kwan etumi ayɛ wo biribiara pɛpɛɛpɛ. And when it comes to the fact say ebia so wobɛtumi atu kwan a patro kae sɛ indefinite leave to remain no doesn't give you the authority to go and stay in another country forever. Nti ɛno no saa no, there's a limit. It's almost say sɛ wokɔtena ɛkuro foforɔ so for 2 years or more deɛ a and deɛ wobɛlose wo indefinite leave to remain. Nti ɛno no saa no ɛyɛ sɛ wode to w'adwene sɛ because wowɔ afebɔɔ no nti UK kurom ha abɛyɛ wo kurom. Nti ɛne sɛ wotu kwan na wo say oh because menya afebɔɔ no nti I is forever and ever and saa wokɔtena kuro foforɔ bi so for more than 2 years na ɔmo bɛgye afiri wo nsam nti you also have to make sure sɛ ɛwɔ w'adwene sɛ UK kurom ha deɛ kurom ha na mɛtena nti menya afebɔɔ yi deɛ menhia hwee biom. Nti point a meka no, it is one and the same thing, settlement or indefinite leave to remain.
Oh, thank you so much, Eunice. Me da se na mamu nsuro minim sɛ na obi bisa update na so yɛ nneɛma wɔ sɛ osisi mu kakra nti getting to the close of the day no sɛ update bi wɔ hɔ a yɛde bɛba nti wo a obisa no don't worry cry why wopɛ sɛ wobɛtie update na dwane kɔ mahyɛ da why nti tie program no na when we finish not just about to finish I'll bring the updates if there are any actually. Okay, and then looking at the explanation that lawyer Eunice gave, no, yeah, share it say yeah, senior afibo asem from one yeah can send leave to afibo. Enti yen share why cry na eligible. So who is what eligible to apply for a settlement under the family you can say appendix FM no why na eligible. Mr. Nti sɛ yɛnhyɛ ase wɔ hɔ sɛnea wokaa sɛ wobɛtumi anya afebɔɔ no nti hwan na ɛyɛ eligible sɛ ɔbɛyɛ apply for yɛka ne sɛn settlement no on the 5-year route when it comes to appendix FM na hwan a hwan nom anaa hwan a na ɔno ɛyɛ eligible to do that mpatwɔ.
Okay. Say yeah, share your immigration rules specifically in regards to your family roots now. So Appendix FM is to do with family members. Enono Sano is looking specifically at your family roots. Either say ABA or your application as a parent, and answer all your application as a partner. And then sometimes it may be say oh partner name into your bereaved partner into that also will make you somebody who is applying as a partner because we partner name. And then obviously we have the domestic violence section as well where obi abusing the partner into either a kun and answer a year no can apply for indefinite leave to remain and as a settlement under that route as well. Into obviously as a parent or as a partner, you can make an application for indefinite leave to remain based on roots now or also no. And when I say the root, especially when it comes to your roots now, I know say a lot of parents and I say partners depending on saying your own J assets no, then they will be able to know ABA me what 10-year route no so. And I always say home office for no almost throw decision they will always put on their cover letter which route you are on. Into say on saka will cover letter say yeah the amount don't throw that letter away. That letter includes very specific information in regards to what it's now, dates now, a ha. They will put on there whether you are on the parent route or the partner route. They will put on there whether you are on the 10-year route or the 5-year route. They will put on there how long your leave, and I say asetena na omo de ama wo no, how long it is supposed to be for. In saa letter no obviously is very important in many regards. In no no saa no say almost ama wo asetena as a be a partner on the 5-year route now, then they will state it specifically say you will have to complete 30 months and then another 30 months on the 5-year route to be able to complete SAR route no. Sometimes it may be say nipa korɔ no efiri amanɔne wayɛ application no efiri Ghana aba UK kurom ha ɔmo ama no 2 years and 9 months nti ɛno no saa no he or she will have to complete another 2.5 years to be able to complete that 5-year route because all day bano he or she was able to meet the requirements to be able to enter the UK with valid leave. Into no no sa no he or she will also make sure say before the 2.5 no be no na wetumi de ne application no atum say or sign aye application no under that same route to be able to get a further leave to remain, which is another 2.5 years to be able to complete the 5-year route. Nti say almost the amount on the 5-year route now, then you know say so we have 30 months and then another 30 months, which makes 60 months to complete the 5-year route. But say almost the amount on the 10-year route there, then it means that you have to be able to complete 30 months 30 months, 30 months, 30 months, which is 4 times. And son, to me, I completed 10-year route no.
So,
Into saying okay, thought. And
ah,
to me, I completed 10-year route no. Into
okay.
it's important to know the difference.
Lawyer Eunice, saa 10-year route, 5-year route, before my major question, no, maybe sa we kakra. One decide what are we application no, na obeka say, I'm applying for the 10-year route. Now, what the oh yeah, application because open say you wa sitna, and then the home office na bed decide. Sa decision, one yes, say sɛnea wogyina hɔ na wo ho ahoɔfɛ yi wo two and half na ɛsɛw anaa wo a wogyina hɔ yi a wode wo ba na ɛyɛ wo 5 years na ɛsɛw anaa wo a wogyina ha yi anaa document a wode abɛgu m'anim yi wo 10-year route na ɛsɛw mpakyɛw saa decision no hwan na ɛyɛ.
It's based on Imbrano. It's not just them looking at Wenim and I said them looking at circumstance and I said the facts only of your case and then saying say oh wait there roots where they sell and I say 5-year roots in they sell is all based on Imbrano and they have this categorically stated in Appendix FM, which is family roots. No, so
Okay.
saying say if you are able to meet the suitability requirements and eligibility requirements, no, as a parent and as a partner, then they will grant you leave based on your 5-year roots. No, so na
Okay.
me meet all of the suitability requirements, any eligibility requirements ne dia. And they're almost over to your 10-year roots no so because there are certain requirements are to me in meet in say almost too long route no so because to me meet certain requirements now say meet under the immigration rules. In say very, very simple answer to that one is just because if I want to me and meet all of the immigration rules now more the amount.
Okay. Enti no nti a mebisa no wakyerɛ me mu and then you made mention of the suitability and eligibility. Na yenim
Yeah.
sɛ I mean previous lessons ayaya so no for someone to be able to be eligible and now someone to be able to be suitable no, there are few factors I will say yes share. And to me bisa say nembe bisa say falling within a suitability and eligibility na no achiche mo. So when it comes say open say wokyerɛ sɛ wo satisfy this requirement na menim sɛ
Mm,
they normally ask about biribi mbia relationship bi wɔ mu a anaasɛ
mm,
wankasa a woba no wo migration status bi wɔ mu a anaasɛ wo financial anaa accommodation nti saa nneɛma no sɛ wopɛ sɛ woyɛ a saa route yi a yɛreka do you still need to satisfy these things like your relationship, your immigration status, your financial or accommodation requirement? Do you still need to satisfy those things and sana to me ayɛ saa route yi a yɛreka yi a nampatwɔ?
okay. Into let's start off with the suitability requirements. Into
Okay.
if, for instance, make us say may your application either as a parent and as a partner, the
Mm.
same suitability requirements are for both.
Oh.
Into usually they are expecting you to meet certain suitability requirements in order to make the application.
Mm.
The ones that will cause a refusal are, for instance, a deportation order, and answer exclusion order, a chair say, or more episode, or more you free chrome have because of the fact say we di bonibia, or more amount sentence say, co prison na, or more you a free prison more. Now, almost say there be almost pay work chrome high into chrome because when you're a chrome henny
Right.
that of course they would usually refuse our application. But then there are other suitability requirements that include, for instance, a be a why offense be a omodre say even though they didn't give you a prison sentence, obviously it is one of those sentences that I mean offenses that they will expect say at least the certain time should pass and say maybe our who say what traffic offense or license no so usually the 3 years must pass before of course you will say that you are no longer on the records as having committed such offense. And
Mm.
now council say when it comes to the fact say yeah NHS only assets now almost say some charge you until when it comes to charging they expect say you will pay the amount are almost below and they have said say if you owe the NHS at least 500 or more dear then you are likely not to meet the suitability requirements. And the thing is most people who owe the NHS cannot pay it all in one go into usually normal to and kakranka senya at least on way to me and who how far. And I say when it comes to interview any nyama omo akacha say abia report so one co report it and I say one by interview no usually they will see it as you not being able to meet the suitability requirements because they ask you to come and report and I say come and come for an interview and you were not able to attend. Or, for instance, it could be say you were involved in a judicial review. One more catcher will say you have to pay the other side's cost. When to me into your other side cost, no. Into also sano. If you are still owing, they will see it say you don't meet the suitability requirements. Into all of this are part of meeting the suitability requirements under the immigration rules. Into as much as possible, no, they're not saying that because you don't meet certain suitability requirements, omo emfa ma wo koraa, but they're saying say if you don't meet certain suitability requirements, dear, then we will have to look at whether we can grant you indefinite leave to remain or put you on further leave to remain. And when it comes to me as a parent, let's say me application ama me ho say me obi a matena e krom ha for the past 10 years and I say matena e krom ha for the past let's say 15 years. Mewo me ba no ɛna ebia me ba no papa ɛyɛ British nti akwadaa no nso ɛbɛyɛ British because of the fact sɛ me ba no yɛ British ne nti megyina me ba no so ɛde yɛn nkrataa ɛwɔ kurom ha based on me bano, I was able to show say me to me a meet relationship requirements no. At the time no na me near sitna inti me to me and say I was able to meet the immigration status requirement. Ebia at the time no so because man shed uncle school nti I didn't have anything to show say me to me meet the English language requirements into no degree and no English speaking test was done into and also sano I couldn't show say I was able to meet that English language requirement. And then because I was not allowed to work in intimate to me and Juma to show say me to me MET financial requirements no. Usually as a parent they expect say income no ebe so income support rate omodema mame for ne nkwala no ewo krom ha. So let's say I was not able to meet that. Ebiana me ne madam for beating into accommodation crampo no na ya asem. So the only thing that I could show was the fact say me ne me ba ɛna ɛwɔ hɔ. Mehwɛ me ba no, mede no kɔ hospital. Me biribiara a ɛhia me ba no bia no, me na meyɛ. Ebia sometimes ne papa bɛma me sika sɛ memfa nhwɛ no, but me ankasa ɛna me ne akwadaa no te a mehwɛ no. Nti ɛno no saa no, ɔmo maa me 2.5 based on the fact sɛ mewɔ relationship with akwadaa no. And no, usually say almost ma was setting na they will give you leave to remain for 30 months under the 10-year route because when to me a meet the eligibility requirements such as the English, the financial and the immigration status requirements. Ebia mekɔ wɔ akwalaa no koraa mpo no mekɔ wo no wɔ NHS nti ɛno nso sa no ɔmo brɛ me bill metua ne nkakrankra mentua nwieeɛ but metua ne nkakrankra sometimes wohu bill na wobɛsu ama nkurɔfoɔ because ɛkeka kɔ 20,000 and over nti biribi saa no they will still give you the leave to remain as a parent. Ebia, as time goes on, you will be able to show say you are able to meet the other requirements. Sisi a wetumi anya wo 2.5 into the next 2.5 now wobɛkɔ akɔyɛ no, you can show say ebia wayɛ English language test and then you can also show say ebia asate adwuma woyɛ adwuma kakra until you are able to meet ebia the income support rate na they give. But say ɛnte saa deɛ obviously as long as you are able to show say you are meeting the relationship requirements as a parent nkwa deɛ, they will give you 2.5 on the 10-year route. Those who are able to show say they meet all of the suitability requirements and then all of the eligibility requirements into who are setna or yeah can I say wo English language yeah to show say who level B1 because who indefinite na omo here level B1 or above into who B1 B2 C1 C2 omo beje and then you have to be able to show say wait to me English language me say English language life in the UK test as well nti ɛno nso saa no ɔmo bɛhwɛ sɛ wetumi ayɛ saa life in the UK test no nso so a and
Mm.
then you have to be able to show say ampa mayɛ adwuma me
Okay.
income menya no
Mm.
so income support rate no as a parent in the UK and also sign on so I'm able to also meet the eligibility requirements to apply
Mm.
in no sano, they will give it to you on the 5-year route because wait to me akyerɛ over to me meet saa ɔmo requirements nyinaa. Nti ɔmo de woto 5-year route no so a, it means that you've been switched from the 10-year route to the 5-year route. And no saa no, doesn't mean say with 2.5 now wogye on the 10-year route no
Mhm.
ɛbɛka deɛ ɔmode ama wo on the 5-year route.
That
They are two completely different routes.
oh
Nti ebi mu bebree ɛnte ɛno no ase because
yeah
ɔmo sɛ oh sɛ mayɛ 2.5 baako
that,
awie a adɛn nti na ɔmo amfa nka 2.5 wei a mɛɛyɛ no. Eh,
ah
because unfortunately almost the whole 10-year route no so no 10-year route no kyerɛ sɛ wontumi meet ɔmo requirements ne na nti ɛnyɛ ade a ɔmo betumi ɛde wato 5-year route no so but
Okay.
sisi a wetumi akyerɛ sɛ wobetumi meet yɛ
Yeah.
ɔmo requirements no nti ɔmo
Uh,
de wato 5-year route no so nti ɔmo de wato 5-year route no so a they expect sɛ wobɛsan ayɛ another 30 months on the 5-year route and sana wetumi ayɛ saa indefinite leave to remain.
hey, nkurɔfoɔ yi deɛ ɔmo ntumi ntriki ɔmo hyɛ baabi a na root ya okay na kyerɛ sɛ ɔmo yi wo free 10 year na ɔmo no bɛto 5 years a in total no bɛyɛ 7.5 mɛboa
Yes,
saa na
yes,
ansa na
yeah,
wɔnyɛ indefinite
yeah,
no na
yeah.
indefinite no life in the UK mekae sɛ wokɔgye British citizen a na wogye life in the UK hɔ no mayɛ confuse kakra wobɛyɛ
Right.
but you need life in the UK as well.
I think so the rules changed somewhere around 2015.
Oh.
Into first no,
Mm,
now almost say yes, obi anim say okoye wo British naturalization
mhm.
so we get life in the UK into
Yeah.
obia anim say oh yeah life in the UK and sana we to me naturalization certificate no.
Yes.
But to see at the almost at the account immigration rules no one saying
Ah,
nkurɔfoɔ so ɛbɛyɛ saa life in the UK test in addition to the English.
okay.
If you are somebody who is a parent or a partner, now
Yeah.
oh yeah, application no under your appendix FM, you will have to do it. And then I know there's another appendix called appendix settlement family life, and also sir, whether you are making the application based on your private life, because ABR what's not Chrome had 20 years, almost the amount, and answer what's not because you have lived here more than half of your life and
Mhm.
also sign on so they expect you to do the life in the UK test
Oh,
and English language test as well. Into there are a lot of changes that unfortunately Nkrofo may not be aware of. It is
mm,
applicable to um Obi Biara apart from Nkrofo we EU for no.
mm,
I would say with the EU roots need there is quite different. It's almost there they don't ask for
mm.
English language and as a life in the UK.
Hey, ɛneɛ memma example. I know say I'm running out of time, but yɛnhwɛ sɛ obi even B1 no koraa trɔeɛ no ɛyɛ den ma no. Ɛ-
Mm.
Ɛba ne saa na wantumi ankyerɛ na ɔwɔ saa route no so a na ɔntumi ɔno nso so ɔntumi nkyerɛ ɔntrɔ bi life in the UK na what happens to such a person?
Nti sɛ woantumi antwerɛ life in the UK anaasɛ woantumi anyɛ English language no
Mm,
ɔmo aka wɔ ɔmo mbrɛ no mu under immigration rules they say as long as the person is able to meet the relationship requirements no and they are able to show that they are able to meet some of the eligibility requirements then the caseworker can obviously put the person on a further leave to remain
mhm,
because I went to me and draw life in the UK no and
mm,
answer went to me and test no for English no and
mm,
answer we need degree I just to be meet English language requirement. In the case where can no or who say you are still able to meet that relationship requirement and
mhm,
some of the other requirements there and the or over to sa 2.5 year route. And usually, if that is the case, if
mm,
they think you don't meet the requirements, almost send the email say,
mm,
almost out 2.5 into almost vary application or saying I'll wait to your IHS because with indefinite no, there's
mm.
nothing like IHS fees to pay
Ah,
with your application fee nepe. But
hey,
when it comes to uh, varying you from indefinite to two
ah,
and a half months, on which I will say, oh, because we meeting requirements in nancy, yeah, ma or some time period to pay for the IHS into fee never honor your very refund the amount now it's me to ya for IHS no na at least it's me a process the application no.
hey, La Eunice, and the nsɛm wɔ hɔ o, because I've got nkurɔfoɔ kakra bi a me a metumi did as I did dance say there is no way they can write the life in the UK unless
Mm,
you only try and error sao kwa because only marking kind. So
mm,
marking
mm,
kwa no akwa tiki tiki ABC the tomu na atom and tomu so de bia any sa. Ain't no because of that mean bisa is there a rare obi ti says or no only marking kind or to make
mm,
go and come there even
mm,
like B1 no cry anything so wobisa no say your friend will send or brofo man no so bisa your friend will send or brofo mu nso ane ne nananom na ete nti na otume menga wenya eja edwuma nkitinkiti bi a and require so okoshi obi ni na akaka brofo nto ya na ade din we've got a lot of people in this
yeah,
situation
yeah.
enti bisa ne ba ne saa na kyerɛ sɛ ɔno life in the UK no ɔntumi ntra sɛnea wɔka na kyerɛ sɛ da bia yɛbɛma
Mm,
and half ne saa ɔnto da bɛn.
mm, mm. And I understand where you're coming from because like most people, for instance,
Mhm,
uh, since yeah, well, say in Birani be
mm,
unfortunately they can't take the test.
mhm,
Under your immigration rules, not there, almost says the way the 65 and over there ended, they don't need you to obviously complete the
the-
life in UK any English language test. And
oh,
we are all under 18 also so because ABA Oko school wahanenti, they don't require you to also complete those
mm.
tests as well. Into a nkurɔfoɔ no more mfimfini no
ɛna
nkurɔfoɔ no wɔdi 40s 50s
mhm,
um, early 60s almost nduru 65 no and sometimes ɔmo nya saa problem no because
ah,
unfortunately they are not able to read sɛ sɛ yɛn wɔka no nti akɔba ne sɛ it's very difficult for them to actually answer correctly
oh
and
why ɔbaba yɛn sukuu mu ɔda bi a metumi hwɛ me se krakye membi wɔ abom mɛtumi aboa wo na mmom wobɛkyɛ kakra so
I
wowɔ aho yɛka ne sɛn ɔtwɛn honhom deɛ a
yeah
wobɛtumi ayɔ but dodoɔ na ɔba classroom na ɔhwɛ ɔhwɛ sɛ ɛmo respond na ɔno te hɔ gbuu saa na the second day ɔmba bio because ɔfɛre so hu adeɛ
ampa
ɔfɛre
ampa ampa
wakɔ woka sɛ ɔma ne private tuition so a it's like oh ala Eunice nkurɔfoɔ problem nkurɔfoɔ problem na we are still here to help wopɛ sɛ wotwerɛ life in the UK whilst we are watching wopɛ sɛ wotwerɛ life in the UK wopɛ sɛ wotwerɛ B1 B1 literal speaking and listening and I say even B1 to give you the you can say qualify you to get the skill migrant route ne so as yes ubetumi abehumi may take you through because yeah we have a large community of learners obi a yɛboaboa yɛn ho na yɛde yɛ sɛ na ɛbɛyɛ a wo so wobɛtumi anya na wopɛ sɛ wo register nso na who senior obey no and also you can contact me met me about true now I register now when you can you say open the private I can get you that one-to-one senior okokotna examiner anymore questions are obebisa pepepe sa pepepe omo mota ko oba ye school mu say obehu say I think that will be whom you say me na me ye the interview for B1 na me say anyamia o say ye wo me say anyamia o say ye wo me say anyamia internet say when it comes to that now we have experience you bet to me actual say nya won so be ya ho be like be yet say me no di nkomo say na me no di nkomo na we twa na maka say we twa na wo call enti wo betumi afrɛ me ana so be send me text message it was 07596620154 bomodiam and now ho na wo nkɔgye 2.5 de bia 2.5 me ka say me sa to me ma me no before say woba na yebisa how are you now so bisa na kyerɛ sɛ wo kasa wo deɛ no ɛwɔ akyire meanwhile no you are just about 45 to 50 years into wobɛgye 2.5 to 65 years ana there be but there is a way a yɛbɛtumi nti sɛ moba class na wopɛ ne ntɛmtɛmtɛm de akɔ yɛ a ɛnyɛ yie si a abotrɛ na wobɛnya na dakoro biara wolɛne one sentence wode yɛmfa ne sɛ dakoro ana na ɔtwe biara wobɛsua one sentence because when it comes to life in the UK, B1 exams now, yeah, what you can say. yɛahyehyɛ nneɛma a yɛbisa, and it's in time memorial ɛno a na yɛbisabisa saa sɛ ɛnyɛ adwuma a ɛbɛyɛ aduane, ɛnyɛ aduane a ɛbɛyɛ wo nneɛma a woyɛ. It's like ɛdedada so the same thing. Nti sɛ da koro koraa wosua adeɛ baako, da koro wosua baako, da koro wosua afe mu no sɛ ne woasua adeɛ bebree a afe deɛ wobɛtumi atwa. But sɛ woba na wosi o me ɔsɛ metwerɛ within next month ya ma register me kɔtwerɛ a maame papa ɛyɛ saa na wo de pressure wo ma wo pressure akɔ soro ɛnyɛ yie saa, unless sɛ wo a wogyina wo nan so kakra. Na sɛ wongyina wo nan so na wote sɛ nea meka borɔfo ɛntotɔ so yi di a ɛneɛ ɔsɛ woto bo ase na usua ne nkakra na nso wobɛdi nkonim na wankɔgye tɔt saa. Nti la Eunice yɛnkɔ yɛnim saa na ɛteɛ. Sɛsi a wakyerɛkyerɛ yɛn ama na ehu na yɛmbisa sɛ last question sɛ ayɛmbia sɛ my application yɛ refuse so anaa further remain granted to me if man satisfy all the requirements na then you refuse me and then na meyɛ.
And so usually in cases like this, say to me meet eligibility requirements ni be saying American na the caseworker will then switch you to the leave to remain routes where Obama or further 2.5. But Ebane say ABA went to me a meet relationship requirements no as a parent and as a partner. And they're not there usually no they will be forced to refuse the application totally. In say no sano, then you would have to um appeal if you believe said the wrong decision was made.
Mm.
So if there is a decision to say abia omo this relationship na uwo no, of course it's still ongoing, subsisting, and I say currently no inyama interest say only sani pano wo inti you refuse so application there, then they will definitely give you a right of appeal because it's a human rights application into under the appeals no, as long as there has been a refusal under your immigration, I mean your human rights, then you can make that appeal to say you believe that decision na Secretary of State's no, it's not correct, and I say you don't agree with it and say oh yes sir appeal no saying your court no, so even who evidence there and yes sir na it's nyama different from what the home office are obviously stating into no sir no, they will definitely give you a right of appeal. But if you meet the relationship requirements but you're not able to meet life in the UK saying you're met share you know, and now say you're not able to meet the English language they will definitely put you on the 2.5 year route. And also remember, say the route is also important. Into say if you are not able to show, say you meet all of the requirements, as in what complete 30 months and then another 30 months on the 5 year route, they will switch you back onto the leave to remain. In also Sano, if you're not able to meet that period of residence requirements, they will switch you back to the 10 year route and say almost more indefinite no, but almost more leave to remain. In and also Sano, so if you're not able to meet that period of um qualification and answer quiet requirements now, they will give you another 30 months and that's a 2.5 year leave to remain either under the parents route and answer under the partner route, because when to me and just say we're completed 60 months on the 5 year route. And even if you're on the 10 year route and you still cannot meet the other requirements to say so now they will give you further leave to remain, which is 2.5 and answer 30 months on the 10 year route still. Into what completed 10 years no, but they will still put you on the 2.5 just because to me meet the other requirements. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey. Na kyerɛ sɛ no a wobɛdi ɛno saa de akɔ, but wobɛtumi ayɛ ho
Yeah.
ne nyinaa yɛ adesua. Wodeɛ ɛnyɛ den o, but ɔsɛ woyɛ ne nkakra. Da no obi ka sɛ na sɛ obi ho ade ɛnyɛ den, na me sɛ o nokora ɛnyɛ den, nso ebi mo kɔmmɔ yɛ feli ɔmo da biara. Nti just imagine yɛfeli nkurɔfoɔ da biara, wobisa sɛ adeɛ wei 10 minutes pɛ na wawie. And so 10 minutes near failure now. It's just you have to learn it gradually. Obedro. La Eunice, me da se bebre wa cheche mo ama na besi ama. They said my ye satisfied. Say near tibia emo step by step nneɛma a ɔsɛ meyɛ nyinaa mɛtumi ayɛ na ɛba ne sɛ yɛrefisu mu nso a deɛ na mɛyɛ no nso wɔtumi aka memfa aseda ɛma Helena A. Osi, good morning, Lady Magneti and Lawyer Eunice. Delighted to be part of the educative program. God bless you richly. Helena A. Nyamin Shao. Danny C. Hey, man, see the team. Saying the team, good morning. You, yeah, that's Nana Akwesi Adai Ejepon. Udin the papa. Say, good morning, Papa. Yeah, Joshua no pay and Sasu Nyako, Ana, Nyaks, Nyaks pa ode ye de I say good morning ye so Papa Bush Naomi, good morning everyone, good morning go lolonya. I say the EU family members are free from this cheating. I didn't cheat yourself now. Okay, Lolonya, I don't know what the cheating you are talking about. Sandra Fraser, yes, good morning to you. Maybe be a telephone lines now. As time goes on, more mobile so you know maybe maybe a telephone lines no. Oh, question be our person visa. It could be said near yes, and now near can ask them how to apply for settlement and as indefinite leave, no. And now say, oh, baby, bibi for akwanya da hɔ lawyer Eunice wɔ ha me sɛ wabin wakware mu ankasa nti question bi a wobisi ne bia ɔbɛtumi ama ho mmoa yɛ nti yɛn first question nana ɛtu ahene nana wei deɛ ɔntwɛn koraa ma memmi ne nsuo ansa ɔse please if one gets indefinite leave through their British spouse under Appendix FM after getting indefinite or British citizen are they still under Appendix FM? What a good one. Lawyer Eunice.
Okay, it is a way to make your indefinite in the end. You are no longer still under Appendix FM because you see, at the only way up is British citizenship. It is a what's say after the when you're indefinite oh ama why yes British citizenship and as a naturalization na they be I can ask them now. Then you provide to them your English language and your life in the UK are we use it for indefinite, no. They will accept it and then I know with life in the UK there it never expires
Yeah.
into and no, no, dear, they will always look at that and then look at the other requirements I here for British naturalization application into and no, no, at any point in time, please, whenever you're ready, we are here.
Okay. You lawyer Eunice, where dear me do do mu nipa bi. Also me American. American citizen born and bred America. Nanso ne descent kakra fi yen kurom yi bi. Ɛne sɛ ɔgye minim on ɔsi visa ɔgye yɛ no ɔbɛ establish business wɔ ha. So ɔsi then it was called say entrepreneurship or something. Minim sɛ bibi saa wɔ hɔ a ɛna yɛmaa no 3 years na ɔbɛ establish business wɔ ha ɔde yɛ wayɛ akakra ebewu no onim nipa obi a ɔka kyerɛ no onim sɛ o wei deɛ peasy nti apply for indefinite to from 3 years no trying to apply for indefinite leave to remain ade no kɔkyɛ wɔ mu ara na yɛ refusing no nti refusing no then what she decided doing is say okay if that be the case on my 3 years entrepreneurship way no visa no let me request for an extension then nti ɔsan yɛ another application menim obi a ɔtoo no fo but ɔsan yɛ another application to extend that visa because she still got the business running up and running ɛwɔ ha na ɛno nso yɛ refuse afei yɛ refuse no yɛka kyerɛ ne sɛ ne visa na ɔwɔ so 3 years na ewu nti ɔnkɔ ne fie back nti obi saa no obisa sɛ mmoa bɛn na ebetumi de aboa no.
Okay, so usually when you look at the work routes and I said the business routes, I'm thinking she uh, was on the um, entrepreneurship visa, where she was granted leave based on the business ideas, and then obviously they get endorsements from whichever company is willing to endorse them. And so usually when it comes to somebody making the application and they are not able to meet the requirements, then of course they are going to tell her that your application is refused. And also remember that with all the work routes and all the business routes, there's no right of appeal because it's not based on human rights, and I say it's not based on humanitarian grounds, and I say it's not based on being an EU family member. And they don't offer you any right of appeal. And when they say, most of the time they'll tell you, say you have a right to administrative review, and that is it's going back to the home office again for them to review whether you still meet the requirements. And so if you are not able to meet the requirements, then usually we always say it is better to switch to a different route because you don't meet the requirements. So look at maybe applying as a parent or as a family member of a settled person or a British person. So usually when it comes to situations like that, we always ask people to switch because when him say to meet requirements and you will not even have a right of appeal. And so it's almost as if you are going through a dead end and you are still going. Yes. And so it's always better to switch because there is no way you'll be able to meet.
Sisi ano wanswechi sisi ano ne we na ewu enti no ọkọ yesi ọnkọ I don't think say ye band ye banding no by no say yesi ọnkọ so yesi
Yeah,
ọnkọ
yeah,
ọnkọ
yeah,
back yeah
yeah,
enti obi saa no say ọkọ na oye American so ọkọ
yeah.
na onya ye ka ne sen care route bi care worker route bi na ode ba
Mm,
as an
mm.
American ono nso ni requirement na ono nso hia so prove English language saa any police te sɛ nneɛma no a yɛgyegye no ɛno nso ɔsɛ ɔno nso ɔyɛ biribi saa.
Yes, it's a requirement there is regardless of whether you are somebody from America or even under the EU, because even the EU you have to also meet the requirements to be
Okay.
able to come into the UK to live. Into if you say you want to come and live and stay in the UK, dear, then you have to apply for a visa just like everybody else. When
Oh,
you visit there, you don't have any requirements to meet. But so okay, so what's now UK Chrome Hadia, regardless of whether you're EU or American, you have to be able to meet the requirements under whichever route you are applying. Whether you are applying as skilled worker, and as an entrepreneur, and as an innovator, and as a innovator founder, and only now you have to meet
you
the
have
requirements before
okay.
them out.
That's good then. Yo, la Eunice, follow up questions or but nkrofo gyina so ntimi ma ɔmo nso chance na ɔmo bisa mpacho dɔfo wa homa so yɛfrɛ wo sɛ na wo kasa frɛ me yɛnte wo nka.
Hello.
Yeah, hello papa, good morning.
Morning. If can share no lawyer again.
Lawyer ɛwɔ ha wobɛtumi akasa.
Me pato.
Mhm.
Me ne me yere ne bae. We
Okay.
student and independence. By this some problems. Ye jai ama ko divorce.
Okay.
Me share oba okuta in the fridge. Afa no aba kro no okuta in the fridge.
Mhm.
Na juma o ye no onya 18 translation no. Enduru pa me ye full time.
Mhm.
And bisa se make me no. Ebi esika bo me tumi ye vacation. So we start lawyer mommy.
So
Okasa
there are some now.
manti Pachote, question mantini also word there so.
Me patcho me name is about as a student dependent. But due to some problems into your grandma quit divorce.
Now oye
Oh,
divorce no. Who now oye dependent no.
Me patcho I.
And to say na just say o divorce no only hwe won bibia biom, right?
Me any application. Me
Okay.
sure about kuta indefinite.
And we
mm-hmm.
sure about kita indefinite. Our person in worry.
Any aya wale.
Uh-huh.
Me any application. But me sika I for 18 translation and for a year. I do my way no.
Okay.
And besides me just me full time.
Mhm.
make me the me if you can I join in the
Answer so.
media application.
Okay, Lawyer Eunice, and you bisa no sauti.
Patron Mate. Until he came as dependent, and of course, you see, also switch it to the family roots because sisi a we who say when you be for down no into or per se or yeah application no to switch to the family roots because I feel there ne ho aka no say so oja ne yere na on ne bae no na o ye na or hunter obi a nya kind of say or indefinite o say pacha now say oh yeah under the EU routes na.
Or say student dependent.
Oh, there be make a year now one yan is here.
Or the atoso, I did not
Oh,
catch.
okay, okay,
Or
okay,
see, or look it indefinite leave to remain, or look it
okay.
indefinite.
Indefinite. Okay, okay. And see, if the person has indefinite leave to remain, then what he needs to do is that he needs to then make the application as soon as possible because sincere there, of course, he doesn't qualify under the student dependence route no, because OJI in a year and of course, he has to make the application as soon as possible. When it comes to the financial requirements, saying all cano, he has to be able to show say omo because omo say UK Chrome hanenti omo to me emit is 18,600. Now can all say abro manane dia they will say mama na ese ochre. But because omo no say hanenti, they can both show say they meet that 18,600.
No, or per se, or no, ye full time, but banny or ye full time, the bear hours name so Santa, or mummy no
Yeah.
bit. Romantic, it is hard, and my papa, we best where the lotto, it is an here. Why, young order for one, my son, Patrick Frost, and our casa friend.
Hello, good morning,
Good morning, mommy.
Mr. Lawyer. But some person be so
Mm-hmm.
what 10 years with me to a time bend of the year me indefinite. Me on my indefinite leave no 13th of September, October 2013.
And say, I was so how many years now?
And see, my also, but my also for almost 10 years. The 10 years, baby by October.
Okay, and so be
Oh, okay.
so yeah.
Okay.
No. Okay, la
Uh,
Eunice, and so where the time I saw ye.
Hi. The time now so it's Pacho yansa na o katane.
before.
O say, sa can be
Retire, catch 28 days before and send a infant.
but senya unimu eno sa no ene nyoma na lo Eunice kan ye eligibility na or can be one life in the UK ni ho can relationship ni those things. Why any nyina dada so and yes say lo Eunice send ye
Yeah.
cut so man no.
It's Pacho over yansa na won katane wo nti se over na enimonim ya na Pacho wo dia atu.
Okay. But a better don't say may do 10 years,
O say
Se
be
mo
say we do 10 years.
Uh-huh.
Na say e wo wade no so ana
uni home office letters na share say omuma wo nkrata wo krom ha.
Patrol say,
Only
Home office
document no so document na kire wo say wo benya 10 years no so nti so we
into
application na it's based on wo document na okita nti wo de call monim say wo benya 10 years in October and nti na wo apply for indefinite no.
okay,
Does
okay.
that answer you?
Into that say, who patches a me family first letter near the man, no fan down and fanco.
Wo would then know be wo home office or dada into application reference no e wo ho omo a omo nim application na wo be ye no. But your application a kwa as indefinite no e won gina so em so de ato so e won gina so a wo enti a wo kwa
So,
indefinite o fill form ni se o peden
may fill from the point of view.
aha enti no mo hwe wo file a omehu but I think say kire wa adwen a ko hu
Mhm.
lawyer omo nim say 10 years na wo apply no omo nka say omo nim wo system nim why
Yo, but that's
mm
fine.
me
I
nso
mean,
me da se ma me say kire wa bo modern akohu lawyer no nchechu mu
let
yie ma why
make a phone like Eunice.
okay that's good yeah that's it
Uh,
nsɛm no bi wɔ hɔ a ɔsɛ onye abotrɛ na wokyerɛkyerɛ mu yie lawyer Eunice nana menkan me message no kakra nsa na mafa ne ɔwɔ so no pakyɛ ma me ɔse wei nso si if I am on the 10-year route, when do I apply for? Say one na obisa sa Francisca, one na obisa sa we no. Meaning say what they are indefinite stay and how can they know that I have spent 10 years? Say and one na yeah answer definitely
Yeah.
they know say why spending 10 years because una obetre application kura oh yeah why nti wokyerɛ application koraa a woyɛ no a they know of course say 10 years wowɔ so nti na wo apply for indefinite no why yo mewɔ baako nso wɔ ha ɔse please I have been granted 30 months that's 2.5 leave to remain status on the 10-year partner route under paragraph DLTRP .1.2 of Appendix FM since 2020. Since 2020. Pacho, hold on. Oh. Hello, are you
Hello,
calling for
mommy.
the program?
Yeah, mommy, please also want to ask a question.
Oh, hold on 1 minute. Um,
Oh, okay.
so let me finish the reading. Or same, this permits expires in 20 and December 2023, and it's due for renewal. My partner and my twin kids recently attained indefinite leave to remain status. I will appreciate if you could kindly advise on the following. One, which route can I switch to based on the above circumstances to shorten the 10-year route? Two, what are the requirements? Three, which application form do I use? Say, ene ade a yesua pepepe ena ubisa na apart from which application form no a ube use no. Nti lawyer Eunice, ubetumi abekyerɛkyerɛ ne mu kakra sɛ
Yeah.
mensa nkan bio ma aba sɛ woanya question
I
no.
think Polano are they British
Indefinite.
or not?
See, the
Oh, okay.
partner, the twin kids, no recently attained indefinite leave to remain status. And
Okay.
see, deɛ nso na ɔngyina na ɔmfa nyɛ ne deɛ ɔnshorten ne 10 year ɔno wɔ 10-year route so
10-year route no so.
so
Yeah.
graduate
Yeah.
of ɔde ashorten 10 years no based on the nkwalaa na ɔmanya indefinite ne partner
Yeah.
no
It depends on how many years are why year on the 10-year route no so. I always
okay
say if you want to switch to the 5-year route, it's better to do it when you have been granted your first 2.5.
that's correct
Otherwise, it won't make any difference when you are doing it on your third 2.5. Because let's say, for instance, while that 10-year route no so for 5 years, and then now say you can meet the requirements for the 5-year route. Unfortunately, switching to the 5-year route wouldn't make any difference because it means say after so complete 30 months and then another 30 months on the 5-year route, which will make the 10 years anyway
okay
into you might as well remain on the 10-year route if you are going to switch on your third leave to remain. But say, hey, Bia, why your first one? No, and I think now by your second one, dear. Then I would say, then look at either meeting the requirements as a parent, or if you're living with your partner, the home office is always advised that they look at the partner route first before the parent. Into say ne partner ne nkwalaa no abɛnya indefinite there, then they
mm-hmm.
will look at whether she meets the requirements under the partner route, which means say she should be able to show say on any partner almost now for 2 years or more if they are not married.
Okay
So if they are married, yeah, and she will produce her marriage certificate as evidence. Say, oh, my for.
Okay.
Then she has to produce evidence say maybe she's able to meet the immigration status requirements in 2.5 now also no and who yet
Mm-hmm.
that's all her or by application no. And then she has to be able to show she meets the English language test requirement as well
Mm-hmm.
because maybe or undergraduate degree or yeah will chrome her and masters and a PhD. And
Mm-hmm.
this side yeah obey English speaking and listening no at a level A1 or A2, depending on the time of Obeye switch, no. And then she has to show say she's able to meet the financial requirements of 18,600 as a partner. Into either say ne sika nko anaasɛ ɔno ne kunu no ɔmo bɛka ɔmo sika no abom
Yeah.
actually say they can meet that 18,600 requirement and also accommodation into efie na ɔmo te mu no is suitable accommodation. So whether tenancy agreement and answer mortgage documents, no, they will produce that to show say she can meet the requirements. Yeah.
Yo, ọdọfọ ọwọ so sẹ ne phone calls ne de agya mo saa tọ de bi a mo mfrɛ tọ de bi nso a no mo afrɛ saa na afei yɛhu which one to pick ọdọfọ ọwọ so mesrɛ wo ni die mu mpacha wo kasa frɛ me ɛnte wo nka.
Mepocho, your friend and I make us free Ghana.
Okay.
Na I pocho me question kakra me bisa ne say
Mhm.
say me pese me ne obi settlement me wo Ghana nipa na ewo UK
Mhm.
na oye EU okita EU na ode wo ho na ni efie a owo no ɔsɛ ɛnyɛ ɔno ne din mu na otua rent ni egu but otua rent no ɛwɔ obi edin mu but ne mobile phone a oyi so no deɛ ɛyɛ contract a ɔno ankasa na ɔde ne din etua nti in that case no obetumi ɛde ne nkrataa aba abɛfa me akɔ anaa.
Okay.
Patrick, that na mo worry, yeah.
Dabe na mo ware ye.
Ɔkyerɛw sɛ
Dabe na mo ware ye.
afei na yɛ plan sɛ yɛbɛware
Oh, okay, okay,
na
okay.
ɔpɛ sɛ ohu sɛ sɛ yɛware a because ɛnyɛ ɔno ankasa ne fie ɛna ɔte
Okay,
no.
Matthias here. Yo, Lawyer Eunice, ain't you know,
Mm.
it's talking
Yeah,
about evidence, baby, accommodation, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Who say you have an accommodation, you have the relationship, and any of those things. A ban
yeah, yeah.
accommodation now, no, sir, what will be the situation?
So when it comes to making the application, usually they require evidence to show say or suitable accommodation wo free Ghana no
Mm,
obetumi nya baby ada.
yeah.
Nti the fact say only share ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɔte saa fie hɔnom deɛ is
Mm-hmm,
a bit of an issue because definitely no they will need a tenancy agreement and I said they will need a letter from nipa korɔ no a efie no yɛ ne dea no to show say asumasi Kwame anaasɛ Kwaku ɔte fie hanom otua rent ɛma me ne rent no ɛyɛ ebia 400 for one room anaasɛ ɔtua 1,002 for the whole property because ɛyɛ two-bedroom property. Nti depending on efie na ɔte mu no, either sɛ ɔbɛnya tenancy agreement anaasɛ ɔbɛnya nipa korɔ no a efie no ɛyɛ ne dea no to write a letter and add a copy of ne ID. Ɔntumi nka sɛ because ɔntua rent wɔ ne din mu nti ɔntumi nya biribi a ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɔte fie hɔnom bi. It is a requirement nti he has to provide it.
Okay, so now when we finish now, me fro na ye di hun komo why there are more to.
Make it traumatic.
Yes, why? To just
Okay,
near okay and no and you be if
make
you
it
come
traumatic.
yo yeah that's it
Make it
pachafato
traumatic.
so mami
Yes,
na
me
share
that's
me
my
program no
menstrual.
why
Make it traumatic. Me
yo
say make it
bye bye
traumatic. Thank you, man. Bye, bye.
nipa miense gyina so ne ye dem pacha wa homa so o te me nka
That's why I'm talking about
yo gyina so kakra menka me question baako yi wa ha na mmerɛ no dwane a na edwane ɔse me nua
it.
bɛma ben Derek Yabua say, hello, lawyer, with the relationship requirements. If the father isn't available during weekdays to take the child to school, but is available some weekends to take the child out and bound with the child, is it enough to qualify for the relationship requirement? And how would he need to prove that? Is it a letter from the mother enough to support this claim? W'ani abere o hwɛ. Wotwitwa photos na mote McDonald's na modi nkɔ na wode no ato wo kɔn so na mo nenam mpoano hwɛ. Ne nyinaa photo evidence. Nti lawyer Eunice, me nua bɛyɛ Derek, ɛnɛ ne yɛnka nkyerɛ no.
He's made a valid point. Of course, when it comes to making parent applications, now they say they want you to show, say you have a parental relationship with this child. And so when it comes to parents who don't live in the same home as the child, and so when you look at our immigration rules, it says that you have to show either say or sole responsibility anaasɛ wowɔ direct access anaasɛ wo na wo ne akwadaa no nti in his case he doesn't have sole responsibility but he has direct access to the child. And when they talk about direct access, they mean say uhu akwadaa no one ne edi nkɔmmɔ one ne ɛbɔnde te sɛ sɛnea ɔɔka sɛ ɔne akwadaa no ɛbɔnde. And usually they want to see that you are playing an active role in the child's life.
That's
Into the way you are able to show that you are playing an active role, usually they expect you to provide evidence from official sources like school and answer GP. And then if you are able to produce a letter from either the school or the GP to show, say, you play that active role, now they also take that on board. But in a case where, for instance, the mother knows that you're supportive and is willing to write a supportive letter, yes, the mother's supporting letter and photographs to show, say, yes, you are also taking the child out and you're bonding with the child and all of that will also be good evidence. So they always say either you provide a letter from the other parent and now say a court order which shows that you have direct access to this child. Yeah.
so yeah, that's it. Papa one so kafra why. Patch me and nka.
Yeah. Okay. That's a money tea and I'm a just lawyer unit. So, a question. Lawyer unit make mention say the over 10 years fruit no not with the 5 years or so. And who he said you and who has all best which. But the question is the over previous relationship now with Jay and then the amount 10 and now with Jay and I say what best start another relationship and the amount 10. Maybe me more and I'm say ultimate join the previous route now was over 10 years now to add it to the current one to meet up with the 10 years. Is it still the same? And I say Omar Sifano. That is my
Okay, so what I was explaining is say if for instance you were on the 10-year route and then you are going for your third 2.5, then there's no point switching to the 5-year route because it would be the same amount of years as so we and indefinite leave to remain.
but if
Into
I'm
I was explaining
different
say
Money and patch money and explaining why na yeah.
It's, I was explaining, said that will be the only reason why you wouldn't have to switch. But in your case, say if you were with a particular partner and a woman or 2.5, but sincere dear, your partner has changed. It's no longer the one who you were with the first time. Of course, you will have to make another application to show say another partner into sign a application no to show say another partner one ne te anaasɛ waware no wopɛ sɛ woyɛ application no for a further 2.5 years. Nti ɛno no saa no, if they put you on the 10-year route, that is 10 years on, I mean 2.5 years on the 10-year route. If for instance you are able to meet the other requirements on the second limb and answer for the second 2.5 media, then you can switch from the 10-year route to the 5-year route. If you are talking about applying for indefinite leave to remain after 10 years, usually the under appendix settlement family life, that is a completely completely different category. I don't know, you can add your previous leave with your partner, your previous leave under the parents' route, your previous leave maybe under the private life route, all together to make up the 10 years, and then you say you're making an application for indefinite leave to remain. So yes, it is possible as long as you made your application no in time, and
Oh,
Sebako before you were making the other, you will be able to make the
uh,
indefinite leave after 10 years.
all right, all right. Let me that. And my second question is,
Hey,
Mrs.
yemre aso, ma obi chance
Mrs.
why? My ama obi chance now they send a message in the test no bra me why? Na watch na
Oh,
me fan to community and the law no so am pacho wadarom. Why?
Mrs. Mrs.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Yo, pacho me who say won so wafra ma o ye dwa kra facha me why? Pacho on
Hello?
kasa frame ye nte onka.
Hello, Pacho, me did the Augustine.
Hello, Augustine.
Yeah. Pacho, me the British nationalization application
Sir.
on the 3rd of August. But up to now, no, me two of my commission, so my try me take it person the coffee, no, but don't say, meet me the normal indefinite leave card, no,
We application for the event.
July, on the 3rd July, naturalization.
Naturalization. Okay.
Uh,
And I want your monka.
me two
Na
of
se
my
se opeso two kwine next week.
They'll be on the 20th of next month.
Next month.
But
Nti obi
yeah,
sa
but
say we
yes,
indefinite na okra no betumi de akwa aba na.
Pacho,
Oh, okay. Your lawyer Eunice. Yem bisa me ma dream am say en sheda anya we bia o. But lawyer Eunice mpacho mo ne mpanimfo. Mhm.
Yeah. In terms of the naturalization application now, I know. Of course, if he's saying say or person the indefinite no etu kwan mom dia, then no, I mean there's nothing holding him back because he has indefinite leave to remain
Mhm.
here in the UK. And see there isn't anything holding him back from traveling.
Exactly.
Of course, sɛ ne nsa ka ne naturalization decision ne deɛ they would usually request that you attend the ceremony. So I don't know how long are all Ghana for, but they will request that you phone your local authority as soon as they bring a decision for them to also know when to schedule you in for the ceremony because Oko ceremony na then they give you your certificate. And see he has to obviously make sure say he's checking his email as regularly as possible.
Yo, mpacho so wenya de.
no manya, but now is with be a besi machi or Ghana, maybe I'm a bar or my holding more
Oh,
Ghana
Dabi.
or
Say na ye tro na be siwechi a oba onkoche oba no abeto aso. Because so indefinite. Enya afi na okoji ne yeso so ni bi. Anase
Mate,
ebewu, anase obisa ne bewu wo kwan so.
Dari,
So ye da se papa. Watch time program ne de.
my shepherd,
Me
me,
da
I'm sure the Bia,
sa
with us,
sa sa ye da
with
se
us.
ye da
Okay,
se.
bye
La
bye.
Eunice nipa gu so pa still a nipa dɔɔso but eh yehu mehu nea meyɛ me ho na nea ɛbɛyɛ ne sɛ meba mewɔ few questions nso a I really need to read obi the email on sɛ just about last week or last 2 weeks mo you for no government Emma I think it's a generalized question email be a echo round about more you receiving the email obi di ne de asɛne me sisi a na obisa sɛ ase akyerɛ sɛn but wanka ɔse wenya email from the government say uh, about the provide important update of your EUSS, including new information for pre-settled status holders on what will happen to their status when it is due to expire. Home Office plans to introduce we track quota no dia breme. But I'm very sure, say, like Eunice, you know about this email circulate more ubi more you for so what is their next step or so more if you may help us on that.
So in regards to the emails omo answer kano, it is to do with previous case law that stated say uye EU din anase EU ebusuani na uti chrome ha na ebia wo pre-settled status, which is limited leave to remain for 5 years. Ewu na wentumi anyɛ application for settled status no before wo 5 years no wu ya, it shouldn't necessarily mean say only asetena ɛwɔ kurom ha. Until they have said say because sometimes it may be that 5 years no bewu ansana why indefinite leave and that's a settled status application into they are providing all EU nationals and I said their family members who are here in the UK with indefinite leave to remain if they are able to see on their system said they meet all the requirements. If for instance they know that your time is up now, they haven't got every document to show that you meet the 5 years requirements, they will send you a request for further documents so that they can grant you settled status. Sɛ saa deɛ a automatically no obi a yɛnka ne sɛ ne indefinite leave to remain time na so no they will give them 2 years nti usually obviously you know say you have the 2 years to be able to gather your documents and make your application for indefinite, but I've seen them sending emails to people whose indefinite time is up say they require further documents so that they can grant them indefinite leave to remain and so they will be sending out those emails when your time is due, and the automatic 2 years near it is for nkrofo almost 5 years no ebe so a almost year almost settled status application as yet.
Okay. All right, me that say. When me last caller, Pacho, o kasa frame, ma mente wonka why.
Yo, Pacha, because every meeting case.
Okay.
Okay, Eunice, Anna Manya Michamo.
Yeah,
If I
Joseph.
no question, Menyami indefinite, status,
Settle status.
Yes. Now, the person who said, me koji British citizenship, na also me draw English ne life in the UK.
Sa pepepe. Sa pepepe. O se o tro hia mo anso amo ha meboa why.
Oh, and then so they are mini about.
What can they no no. And to also we obey life in the UK no I English test no at B1 no. Why?
You now I'm saying what me thinking is also landing there.
Me was South African students, me was Burkina student, me was Ghana student. Besides, me ko ho na me ko tro mo ade ana. You enti from me chere yamre aso. From me on 07596620154. Why?
Mate.
Krobia was to be a me chere ade ma ne yi. Why?
Mate. We mate.
Hey, nyame adom, bye bye. But of frame, send na manuni, minti bomodi na frame also. Why?
Mate,
okay.
Yo,
Adofone etifo. Say yamre na ye be, but afena menua Derek obisa ya che anyway, but me my lawyer Eunice na no quickly na afeni eko. But yamre na so I'm not picking any other calls again. Now mean to me envy questions kakra na wa ha no answer akọ. Derek say follow up question, could distance influence the relationship requirement? For example, if the father lives in the southeast and the mom lives up north with the child, and the fact that you can show prove say every weekend be akwalani be do or unchain nani mami will attest to that, it's prove enough. Why, Derek? It's proven enough. And so only pie ni ade no nso no, or say utuminya photo evidence nso e kire say nya just one atare a mo hye now they try 100 photos there be every time you na wo can say weekend bia no kofa no enti all the weekends bia wo fa ne bia no you have evidence even to show her when kitten ni nyina e kan wasema wo ke na obi di message bi brem masre a o say ne ba no every Saturday morning afternoon bia on any call McDonald's. Now one particular McDonald's one area anymore. And see on na kwa almost 2 years ni de bia on any kwa ma McDonald's mpanimfoɔ no kora nim sɛ ne time ne time nti ɔnkɔgye ɔnkɔ ɔmo hɔ na ɔmo nso testify sɛ for the past 2 years ɔde akwadaa yi aba ha constant every Saturday bi a na me say well dwene ho na anything is possible. So, and all kind of answers. So, Derek, yes, it doesn't matter. The distance doesn't matter, provided you have evidence. Say, Akolano, you have direct access. Only no a bonded time almost every weekend. You know, you can use that. Why? And now, Elaine, also saying, good morning to both of you. What is the requirement for two 20-year route? Thank you. Requirement for 20-year route. Internal Eunice. Yembo no to man on tem na
So
fe.
yes, it's I remember some weeks ago we were looking at private life applications for those who have lived there less than 20 years. And she said, oh, what's not room her for 20-year period now? They expect say you will provide evidence that you have lived there continuously. And see, the requirement is that you are able to prove that you have lived there continuously for a period of 20 years where a break bia embemu. Into if you are saying say you've lived here for 20 years, they expect that every year no you will be able to provide evidence say na uti UK chrome ha unto kwan unko bebia unye bibia or more ehu ne say eye boni a wakoda prison mu because if you have been to prison during that time and no ever break you or long residence now or person or children no. And of course if you have obviously lived here for that period then they expect say you'll be able to provide evidence to show say you've lived there for that period of time. I know say most of the time people find it difficult to get official documents say on what's not have for that long, but at least so a GP crampa, at least GP no can provide evidence of your medical records which will show the years would they awards our GP in honor. And if you have any evidence from church, community, voluntary things are way, all those things can help to make up for the years now. Oh, person would say what would they at not UK Chrome has. So all of those things are important because I know say most people who are under that route do not have a partner or a child to rely on. Into it is usually because ABR they have been involved in the community, involved with other things, and therefore they are able to provide some evidence to show their involvement as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeda ase. Now me bu ase me mbisa ne question. But now me who question no. Me who question na kwa ade na kwa. I'm not seeing any question that you've asked. And oh okay near you. I see. I've made a settlement application for my children. They live with me, but they were here through their dad as he married to an EU national. But he sent them child maintenance every week. How can I tell the home office about that, please? Hey, Makani ye dear.
I think say I'm a bit confused about her question because I don't know why she needs to tell the home office say in Kolano Papa Tia maintenance.
Maintenance.
I believe say if she's talking about settlement, maybe she's talking about the fact say because of Papa no ewo EU route no so which is the EU settlement scheme national
Mm,
with the EU settlement scheme, say oh they will ban eba UK Chrome ha, they will grant them the same leave as the EU national. So if for instance the EU national has pre-settled status, they will give them pre-settled status. Say or papa no the time now so for settled status now.
mhm,
Then of course they will also give the children settled status just
mm,
as the parents because
mm,
they expect say their children will be living together with the EU national and their parents.
parent,
And
okay.
see, that is what they usually expect. And say,
Mm,
I'm sure, say, that's what she's trying to say that a settled status application has been made for them because of papa no yeah in a settled status into
mm,
Nkwalano so yeah omo deɛ So once their father has been granted, they will also get the same as omo papa.
Okay, Larry's there. That's me. Last. Oh, but I mean, say client, but last question. Wait, Ben, me, or see, say, okay. Good morning. So good morning, please. I want to apply for council house and also have my plan to bring my wife in future. And to be said, but I want to know if it will affect my wife's application. Say, or no, I could apply a council house. Na or then the year but Ben, so where they mean Ginny, what apply housing?
Uh,
Say mean Ginny say be affecting the application anyway. And
Debbie,
the first say
Debbie.
council house no, and mention that so the first say
Because
council.
usually when you apply for council housing, it is given to you as the individual, and
Yes.
then you have to later on let them know the other individuals living in the accommodation and not say in the property. So say we hear about na open say we hear no didn't come you can definitely go back and say I feel the area about into many area and I say safi it doesn't spoil anything.
Mm. Nti Ben, ha adwen bia why? Ɛyɛ na kyia wo yere nso ma me. Yo, lawyer lawyer Eunice, yɛbɛda wo ase. Minim sɛ lawyer Annie aba a, na nka ɔmfa English version ne ma yɛn, but sɛ oh yes, yɛn nuaba Annie, so a ɛwɔ hɔnom. So welcome, dear sister. If you can summarize the whole program in the English version for us, please.
All right, no problem. So, good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. So, the topic for today was how do I apply for settlement or indefinite leave to remain? So, as we saw today, there are basically two routes to indefinite leave to remain. So, first of all, you can have the 5 year route, whereby you get 30 months twice. And then there's also the 10-year route where you can get 30 months, and that's 4 times. So the route that you get depends on your circumstances and whether you meet the requirements. So we looked at who is eligible to apply for indefinite leave to remain. So essentially, it's parents, partners, bereaved partners, and in certain circumstances, it's also victims of domestic violence. So we looked at the suitability requirements under the immigration rules, and basically you will not meet the suitability requirements if, for example, you have a deportation order, sorry, or you've been subject to an exclusion order, if you have had a sentence to prison and you've served time in prison, or if you have any traffic offences. In terms of the traffic offences, you have to wait up to 3 years in order for it to come off your record. And as lawyer Eunice said, if you are owing money to the NHS, so for example, any amount over £500, that too will kind of not allow you to meet the suitability requirements. And so if you do not meet, these requirements, you'll be put on further leave to remain. We also looked at the eligibility requirements, and I'll be specifically looking at the eligibility requirements under the partner route. So first of all, the status of your partner. Your partner has to be British or they have to be settled in the UK. The both of you have to be over the age of 18 at the time of the application, and you must have met in person before, so face to face, and that is according to the guidance. In terms of relationship, you must be in a genuine and subsisting relationship. So if you're married, it would be helpful to provide your marriage certificate along with your application to show that you're truly married, and any pictures of you together will also be very useful. If you have been cohabitating for 2 years, you can also that's good enough as well. So you can provide your utility bills and council tax bills or any official correspondence in both of your names to show that you've been living together for the past 2 years. And in terms of the parent route, as lawyer Eunice said, if you are involved in your child's life and you take your child to school, you take them to GP appointments, you can get basically confirmation from your child's GP to confirm that you take them for appointments. And you can also get your partner's written confirmation confirming that you take your child to these appointments. In terms of the financial requirement, it's £18,600. So that's money from your employment, self-employment, any cash savings, and all of that will be taken into account. You also need to have adequate accommodation, and that's according to Part X of the Housing Act 1985. So you have to make sure that there's no overcrowding in the property that you live in and that it doesn't contravene public health regulations. So in order to do that, you can provide your tenancy agreement, since it will show how many bedrooms are in the property, and you can also add your mortgage statement. Then we have the English language requirement. You have to sit the test and pass at least at level B1 or higher unless you are exempt. So you will be exempt if, for example, you are over the age of 65, or if you have a qualification already which was taught in English, or you have some type of disability which would prevent you from sitting the test. And then you also have to sit the Life in the UK test, which is a multiple choice question. So if you meet these requirements that I've just gone through, you'll be put on the 5-year route, and that's the 5-year partner route. And if you do not meet all of those requirements, for example, you do not have the English language, you have not sat the test, or you have not sat the Life in the UK test, you'll be put on the 10-year route. And as lawyer Eunice said, if you meet the requirements later on, you can switch from the 10-year route to the 5-year route. Once you meet all of the requirements. So that's just my quick summary for today. Thank you.
And thank you to our dear sister lawyer Anne. So ha na di dwumadi no bɛbɛ say yɛakyɛ ɛne de yɛakyɛ ama no aboro so nti no lawyer Eunice mema akwanya na just say bye bye to us na afei de yɛnsɔre yɛn aso nkɔ.
Yeah, that's it, baby. My I know say questions need there, and then they're bad and I mean shall say wama yeah and Brenny B. Just quickly. I just wanted to say we should all bear in mind say the fees are changing from the 4th of October into say more percent more demo application no before the 4th of October, then of course make sure you do so because they will be increasing from the 4th of October 2023. IHS fees, no, they are currently £624 per year, and that will be changing to £1,035 per year. And I know, sir, currently most people who are applying for leave to remain, depending on whichever route you are on, you still have to pay for IHS, which is the Immigration Health Surcharge. So, or a they will be paying £776, whereas currently it is £426 per year. Into that will increase from the 4th of October to £776 per year, depending on how many years leave are at the Bemau. Into Yensha and also na at least say if there are any people who would want to put in an application before that time, they will do so before the fees increase. Nti manyɛ nyame nhyira wo bebree yɛda yɛtiefoɔ no ase ne ahwɛfoɔ nyame nhyira wo da sɛndɛ yɛbɛsan ahyia bio.
Yo, lawyer Eunice, me da si bebree. Producer me da si. All the team BWF Solicitors for obi anyame nka yɛn ho. Na sɛ ne yɛbɛsɛ ahyia me dan ne manyɛti. Have a lovely weekend. Bye bye.
This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are the laws. There are the regulations. We have BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, experts in all aspects of the law, family law,
civil litigation, all immigration and nationality issues, representation in court, marriage and divorce. We pride ourselves to give you excellent legal services and follow through till we get you the right result and decisions. That is our mutual satisfaction. We have a team of excellent qualified solicitors and support team to help you every step of the way. Our senior partner, with over 30 years of unbroken service to the community, is a member of the Family Law Panel and has advised several lawyers and institutions in many legal matters. He is qualified to practice both in the UK and in Ghana. Come to us. Speak to us. Let us represent you. We are your trusted community partners when it comes to the law. Locate us on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road at Seven Sisters in North London. N15 4NP. Nearest train station, Victoria Line to Seven Sisters Station, exit number 2. We are open for all consultations from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends by appointment only. Call us now on 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors, your trusted legal partner.